Today's lesson is on parallel slopes and parallel lines. Parallel lines are two lines that will never intersect. This means they must have the exact same slope. So that means that if you are given a slope, and remember m represents the slope of 3 over 4, a line that would be parallel to that would also have to have a slope of 3 over 4. The symbol for parallel is two lines. It almost looks like the number of 11, but if you notice here we have m equals, that means that's the given slope. M with those two lines equals, that means that's the parallel slope. So the symbol for parallel is two lines straight up and down. So when you see that symbol, it means same slope. So what we're going to do today is practice what we just did, and then we're actually going to write equations with parallel slopes. So if the given slope is 4, that means the parallel slope is also 4. If the given slope is 2/3, the parallel slope is 2/3. If the given slope is -1/2, take a guess on what you think it is. If you said -1/2, you're correct. If the given slope is -8, the parallel slope is -8. So those were the easy ones. Let's make this a little bit more difficult and actually look into an equation. If we give you an equation in either point-slope form or slope-intercept form, two ways that we've already talked about, we're just going to first identify what the slope is and then state the parallel slope to that. So in the first example, this is in y equals mx plus b form. Remember, we're always looking for the m value, and we don't need the x. The x just tells us where it's at. So if here we have 8x, the m is only the number 8. Therefore, like we did before, if the given slope is 8, the parallel slope is 8. Here's another in y equals mx plus b form, which means the number that's next to x, not x, just the number, is our given slope, -5 over 6. And the slope and the parallel slope are the same. The next one is in slope or point-slope form, which means it's y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. And again, we always look for that m value, so it's the number that's outside the parentheses that you would think to distribute in. That is the given slope. So the parallel slope would be -4. And lastly, we look for the number that's next to the parentheses, and in this case, it's 1 over 9, and the parallel slope would be 1 over 9. The last piece is a little bit more difficult because what we're going to do, we're going to take an equation and we're going to write an equation to a line that's parallel to it. So the first thing you need to do is always find your given slope and your parallel slope. So in this equation here, y equals 6x minus 8, it says write an equation of a line parallel to this. Where is your slope? Okay, so we always know it's the one next to x. So in this case, our given slope is 6. So our parallel slope would then be 6. Once you find the slope of that equation, you can get rid of it. This is gone. We don't need it anymore. We're just using it for its slope. We know that it has a y-intercept of 0, 2. So our b value is 0, 2. It says, please write an equation in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Well, guess what? We have a parallel slope. We have a y-intercept of b. We can write our equation. Y equals m is 6, b is 2. This here is an equation of a line. If this was the original line here, this one would never intersect to it. Okay, so remember the slope is the same. So here's another one. It says write an equation of a line parallel to y equals negative 4/5 x plus 11 and has a y-intercept of 0, negative 4. Please write the equation in slope-intercept form. So some things we know, we need our given slope, we need our parallel slope, and we need our intercept. So the only thing you use this equation for is for the slope. So our given slope is negative 4/5. We can get rid of this. We're going to ignore it. No more. We have what we need from it. We used it. From this slope, negative 4/5, the parallel slope would be negative 4/5. Our y-intercept is 0, negative 4. The only thing we need to write this is our parallel slope and our y-intercept. So we would say y equals negative 4/5x minus 4 because it's negative. The next one is a little bit more difficult because now we're in point slope form, the y minus y1. Okay, so here we're given an equation of a line, y minus 3 equals 2 times the quantity x minus 8, where our slope is 2. If our slope is 2, what's our parallel slope? If you said 2, you are correct. This one passes through the point 3, 4. So we have a slope and we have a point 3, 4. We know that that's x1, this is y1, so we can write this equation in point slope form. Y minus y1, which we said was 4, equals m times the quantity x minus x1, which we said was 3. And that would be your equation. And this last one, our parallel slope, or our given slope is 5/6. So our parallel slope is 5/6. Remember, once you find the slope, you do not need that equation anymore. The point that it's going through is negative 6, 5. So if we write this in point slope form, we have an x1 and we have a y1. So we would say y minus y1, which is 5, equals your slope, 5/6. Then you have parentheses x minus x1, which is negative 6. And again, when you have two negatives, it creates a positive, so that would be your final answer. Go on and do your in-class practice. If you have questions, please raise your hand, and then your teacher will come around to assist you. Other than that, make sure you check your work before you go on to your quiz.